Hey everybody, welcome back to Chortle Cast. I'm one of your hosts, Jake, and with me as always, the Stream King, the Far Cry guy, the King of Thieves, and the man who is about to have a really good week, Steven. How you doing, buddy?
That somehow sounded ominous. Like you know what is ahead of me, and you're not telling me, you know? Like, what's...
I mean, to be fair, I'm going to have a great week too, but what I'm mostly referencing is that a new Star Wars game is coming out for you, which I'm also excited about. But then also for me, a new Pokemon game is coming out, and I'm really excited about it. And then even more so, just to add on to all of that, Disney Plus is coming out next week with a new Star Wars show.
Woo! Yes. And it's going to be a good
stuff
week.
Happening, and then we're doing something with Star Wars this week. It's going to be a good week for
you guys.
So there's all sorts of stuff.
Because there's going to be forward compatible this week.
That's right. We're going to have a forward compatible, but we'll talk about that in just a second because this is Chortlecast, the official podcast of Chortle Games, where we talk about movies, TV shows, video games, mostly video games, and anything else we want to talk about.
A lot of TV shows today.
And you get to hang out with us, and we have a great time. The show airs every Monday, 12 o'clock Central Time. You can tune in live and join us in the chat. Say hi to everybody in the chat.
Hi, Steven. That was me waiting to say
Another
hi
Steven?
to myself.
Okay, yeah, I can't wait to see what you do there. But anyway, you can hang out with us there, and we have a great time. But yeah, we got a great show for you this week. We are going to be talking a little bit about Pokemon coming out later this week. We're going to talk about, and then we're going to have kind of a topic of the show. We're going to talk about what we're going to watch first on Disney Plus when it comes out later this week. But before we get into any of that, a little housekeeping. Like Steven said, this week is a forward compatible week. If you don't know what that is or you're new to the channel, forward compatible is our review series, kind of a look back at games that we remember fondly, but we want to know, are they forward compatible with who we are today?
I don't know if it's a criteria that we have to remember them fondly. Because it kind of goes both ways, you know? We just have to
remember that we
played
played.
It. Maybe we'll play a game that we hated, and then we'll come to it now that we're old farts, and we can be like, oh, yeah, I get it now. With age, my taste has changed.
Yeah, I don't know if I have any games from my childhood that I can remember hating. Because back when I was a little punk kid, I didn't have any money. So the games I got, I had to love.
Yeah.
But, you know, now that I have all my own disposable income, I find lots of things that I dislike, but, you know, whatever. And then, of course, you have free games like Fortnite that you can dislike for free. So there's always that. But anyway, all that to say, this week is forward compatible. Basically how that works is right after this podcast, we'll have a preview review. Hang on, my cat is screaming, so I've got to let her in. Everyone, I introduce to you Cat. With she's not a lamp anymore. She doesn't have her little head thing. She's doing better. She's doing good. But anyway, we're gonna have a a preview launch right after this podcast today. That's basically going to take a look back at the game that in question, and it will we'll kind of Steven will talk about what he remembers from the game, and then all week long we'll be doing a live stream playthrough of the game. Steven will play through all of the game, if not most of the game, and blah blah blah. Then next Monday we'll have a review. Kind of showcasing what Steven thought and if it is forward compatible. So the game for this week is
talking about
Steven.
it now or waiting for the preview? Okay.
No,
the game for the week is
just a little bit. We don't have to talk.
Okay.
You don't have to tell all the details. Don't spill all your beans. Just
so
let
the
them know
game for the week. You know, we were thinking Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order comes out this week, so why not go to where like the most definitive game, like Jedi Simulator, whatever you want to call it, aside from JK2 because we already did that. So we decided to go with Star Wars Jedi Power Battles for the PlayStation 1. I'm just kidding. Force Unleashed is the game.
The Force Unleashed.
Jedi Power Battles will come at a later date. It was
Really
going to be
good.
Jedi Power Battles, but Force Unleashed seemed more appropriate considering. And
Right.
it was kind of a...
What I
go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say what I like about this is I think people are gonna play Fallen Order, and the game they're gonna look back on is Force Unleashed. They're gonna say, well, the Force Unleashed
Right.
did this, or the Force Unleashed, So I think it's gonna be nice, at least for me. I'm excited to see this
Right.
refresher of like, here's what it was. Like, here is one of the best Star Wars games that have happened, at least in my opinion. And is this, let me get that fresh on my mind, and then let's try Jedi Fallen Order, which by all accounts from people I'm hearing from like review events and stuff are saying that it's going to be amazing. So it'll be good.
Can't wait.
It'll be a lot of fun. But anyway, so Steven's going to be
Stay
playing through
tuned
that
after the podcast for the preview so we can talk in depth about
for the preview. We're going to talk so much detail. Maybe not so much, but
enough detail.
But anyway, enough detail. All right, we've only got one news story for you this week that we really want to talk about, and it's probably going to be pretty short, even still.
Before you do that, it sounded
we're gonna
like
talk a little bit about Pokemon.
you said, Yi. We've got one news story for Yi, and I thought you were doing pirate for a second. Like, we've got one news story for Yi today. Like, that's what...
Aye, there'll be one news story for you this morning, this afternoon, whatever time you be watching this. So, Pokemon Sword and Shield comes out this week. If you're someone like me who has been waiting to pre-order the game digitally, it became available for pre-order digitally
That's so
last
weird.
week. So, if you have...
That is so weird that they
Isn't
waited
it
that
weird?
long.
I don't know if it was intentional or what, but I checked as soon as they announced the game, I decided, I was like, I'm going to do this digitally so that it's one of those games that I don't have to pull out the cartridge for to play. So I checked, and they didn't have it on the store yet. Cool, fine, whatever. Wait a couple more months, check again. It's on the store, but not available for pre-purchase. And then I basically checked like every month until a week ago. And finally, it became available. And so, anyway, if you're one of those people, you get some like quick balls or something, I think, for pre-purchasing. Anyway, whatever you want to do. I got Sword.
Yep.
So if anyone wants to get Shield and trade me Ponitas, I'll get you some Surfetched. Anyway, I digress. Pokemon Sword and Shield had a big leak a while back. We're not going to talk about any of those, but just as context. And people have been really, really upset since the announcement about the National Dex not being in the game. That's caused a lot of strife and frustration in the community. And it's just kind of built up over and over. The more stuff we've seen, which we haven't seen that much official stuff from Game Freak. Typically, this has been a very weird announcement cycle for Pokemon. Like, normally they're showing us a lot more than they are. So I'm very curious to get my hands on the game and actually dive deep into it. Because, like, we haven't officially seen any evolutions beyond, like, the first evolution for the starters, which is crazy to me. Because, like, I know because I looked at the leaks, but if I didn't have those leaks, I wouldn't know who I'd be picking at this point, It'd be between Scorbunny and Grookey, which is the grass and fire type. But honestly, like, looking at their final evolution, that could sway me, one way or the other. But anyway, a lot of stuff going on. And in fact, so much discourse, and especially with all the leaks, Pokemon or Game Freak has canceled a
launch event.
Oh my gosh, a launch event that's oh my gosh, what is up with IGN's app right now? I keep clicking to scroll and it's like not going anywhere. They've canceled their launch event, and their official statement is like due to operating reasons. Now, obviously, that's all we have to go off of, but it is kind of, to me at least, I almost feel like, I don't know, not that they're like their feelings are hurt or anything, but I almost feel like they're kind of just not like they don't want to do a big event, to just for people to come out and hate. You know what I mean?
Game Freak's morale is at an all-time low. So that's under, yeah.
And I hate that. I hate for any developers to just be at a low morale state. Right. That's just I don't want anyone to feel like their hard work is not worth it. And so, kind of to go along with that, a lot of people have taken up the hashtag Thank You Game Freak and have just been thanking Game Freak for past iterations of Pokemon, the new game that's coming out. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff that people are thanking them for. But anyway, it's been kind of a nice movement that just people are being thankful. But anyway, Steven, I know you're probably not. Are you getting Sword and Shield at any point?
Well, I don't know. Probably not, because there are just so many other games to buy.
There are so many other games.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just filling space.
So I have thoughts
with thoughts.
So on both sides of the coin. First side being, there are those people out there that are just like, wow, this is so garbage. They're leaving out over half of the Pokemon. I'm not going to get the game. These developers should kill themselves. Like that. That's out there. And that's awful. Seriously.
Yeah.
Why are you like this?
A bit much.
But and there's a lot of outraged fans, and they're taking it too far. But on the other hand, and I stand on neither side of this because, again, I wasn't probably going to get this game even if all of the Pokemon were there. Game Freak, it's kind of the Bethesda situation where they're so used to being untouchable that I think they really underestimated how much people would care, and they didn't realize how big of a deal it was before they had already handled it poorly, and it got out of hand. Does that justify the way people are acting? Yeah. No, absolutely not. Grow up, honestly. But they should have expected, because in the leak, there is no starter Pokemon from a prior generation except for the Charmander Charizard line.
I did say we weren't going to mention the leaks, but that's okay.
Well, that's the only thing I'm going to mention, just to emphasize that's a big omission. The fact that if they didn't think that this would be a big deal, they should have. They should have handled it better. They should have given better reason for the omissions. And if their plan is to expand on the Pokedex with free updates and whatnot, they should have clarified that more. But like I said, it was just a matter of... Go ahead.
Go ahead. I don't think that's their plan either.
Right. And what their plan probably is for this region, use the Pokedex that they have, and then this being a new starting point where from this point onward they expand, which is understandable. But again, that's a lot of stuff to leave out for a game that's supposed to basically revitalize the series. It's the first home console mainline Pokemon game that we've ever gotten. And
it's really funny to me. There's a TV spot going around for Sword and Shield, and it's called I forget if it's the new Gen 1 or if it's the next era in Pokemon or whatever they're calling it. But it basically shows the pixel characters from all previous games, and then building up to Sun and Moon having 3D characters. I guess technically X and Y had that anyway, but you know what I mean. Building up, and it's all these Pokemon running somewhere, and it starts with the Pixel Pikachu, and then it slowly builds up to Mimikyu and stuff, and they all center on these humans with the older handheld systems, and they all raise their hands up, and their systems turn into a Switch.
Yeah.
And then all the Pokemon become 3D, and it's oh, we're all here, or whatever. And I just think who designed this? Because to me, this says, hey, we're all here.
It's Smash Brothers Ultimate. Everyone's here, but they're not.
Yeah, but they're not. So I have some. I know you're kind of just like ambivalent to the whole thing, and I to some degree am. And it's probably unfair because every Pokemon that I care about is in the game.
What, Eevee and all of its evolutions? That's basically it.
Eevee and all of its evolutions and Lucario. We got that.
I was surprised.
Good,
Natu and Xatu are in this game. I was so surprised by that. They were. Xatu was my favorite Pokemon in Silver. Psychic bird that looks kind of like a totem pole, and also Noctowl. I think like the psychic owl Pokemon. He's in there too. I loved him too. So I probably should get this game because some of my favorites are here. But like I said, it's not me.
It's some weird. No, I was just gonna say it's weird choices that they've chosen to put in there. So anyway, all that to say, I somewhat unfairly, mine are all there that I care about, but I kind of think this was just at a certain point, this was going to have to happen, right? Where I think we're well in over, like 800 Pokemon exist right now. And if every generation adds around 100, right, give or take 20, that's a huge number. Like at a certain point, that's a lot going on, and especially for them to all have their own unique style, and there's a lot going on. Even if each one is pretty simple on its own, you take that to 1,000, and suddenly it's like crap. So I don't know. So to me, part of me is okay with this, but I understand people's frustrations.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just don't think. I wish people could get more excited about just this is a new Pokemon,
right? And
this is the next.
Just be happy with,
like you said, Steve,
be happy with the new adventure and taking it for what it is. Because it's a big deal. You can play Pokemon on your TV, which I guess we already got that with Let's Go Pikachu. Yeah. But this is a new region, new things, and so it should be exciting. But
well, and go no finish your thought.
I was just gonna reiterate that Game Freak, whether they knew it or not, they made this bet. They did. They should have seen this coming, and honestly, I think that a lot of it is they held back so that for future games they could use the additional Pokemon as a selling point, which is kind of underhanded. But
right,
if their reason truly is, according to them, the reason truly is we didn't have the manpower. This is Game Freak we're talking about. Nintendo has so much stock in them that Nintendo could have been like, okay, well, here's all these people. Get to work. They could have done that.
They're an incredibly small team.
But they don't have to be that way because they are such a profitable team. And again, I'm saying this is all super idealistic, but things could have been done to avoid this. And so the fault of all of this is obviously on both ends. Players, I mean, if they're excited about a new Pokemon game and they're going to go on strike just because they can't play it the same way they've played every Pokemon game in the past, that's kind of petty. They just to take it for what it is, enjoy the new things, make a new team, but I understand the frustration. I do. If I was big into Pokemon, to me that'd be like, it's almost like if they came out with a new Guild Wars and the Ranger wasn't in it. That would hurt. That would really suck because that's my main. Right. And so I get it, but I'm not going to be giving death threats to anybody, and I'm not going to just outright threaten to not support the product because of one thing. We need to be open-minded, and we need to support them because they in a lot of ways they deserve it. And if we're fans, we need to be fans. We don't need to be fans if then, I don't know. I had a brain fart in the middle of that.
Well, and that was one thing I was going to get to is so I can't remember if Game Freak has talked about this a lot. But so Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu was kind of like an experiment.
Yeah.
It was two things. It was an experiment, and it was also let's get something on the Switch now because people want Pokemon on the Switch. And then Sword and Shield to them was kind of a return to form. Like, this is going to be the first home console Pokemon game. We don't need to drastically change this. You know, we need to give people what they're used to so that they can come here and be like, wow, this is home. But I do think the next thing, whatever they do next on Switch, is going to be the Breath of the Wild for Pokemon, where it is a drastic change. And not that Sword and Shield is not different. I mean, they've got the wild area, which I think is going to be really cool. And they're doing some innovative things. But, like, I think the next one is where they're really going to branch out and see what they can do. This is just kind of a tester. And hopefully they've learned their lesson now that they better get every Pokemon in there. Because apparently we're going to lose it. But all right, enough about Pokemon. Let's talk about Disney Plus. Now, again, this is no news, but we were kind of light on news this week, so I was just like, what would be a fun topic to discuss? And so I realized, again, Disney Plus is coming out this month, or this week. I got to figure out what I'm watching.
For
so
anybody
Steven,
watching this, it comes out tomorrow, right?
Let's see, today. And it comes out Tuesday. That's so weird. I thought it was a Wednesday. Anyway, it's basically coming out tomorrow. So I just wanted to pose the question. Maybe we could just name like a top 3 things that we're just like, man, I can't wait to watch this. So I was just gonna go back and forth, see what we got. We can talk a little bit about it, whatever. I'm sure we're gonna have at least one thing crossover, but I don't know for sure.
I might need a few more.
So
than
why don't you go
3,
first,
but
Steven?
I'll talk less about the excessive ones.
That's fine. That's fine. 3, 4, 5, whatever.
You're talking about like the list of like what are we going to be watching, and so I had this thought where it was like I don't even know what's coming at launch. Like what's the lineup? And you guys may have noticed at the beginning of this episode I was looking down a lot. That's because ever since like 10 minutes before we started recording the podcast, I've been scrolling down looking at what's on the lineup. This lineup is massive for a launch for a service. So they've got all the Star Wars movies, not all of the Marvel movies, interestingly enough. But yeah, they've got, and I guess just to intro into this topic, I'll mention a few of the things that they have. But they've got, as far as Marvel movies are concerned, they've got Iron Man, Iron Man 3, Thor: The Dark World, Avengers: Age of Ultron, Ant-Man, Captain Marvel. That's a weird selection that's some of the worst ones. That's some of the.
This is a really strange.
And Endgame
selection.
will be on there. That's not listed here, but so weird choice for Marvel movies. But all the Star Wars stuff will be on there, which I guess brings me to my first one. And this is where I'll mention. I guess I'll go by categories. Because I kind of split Disney up into 3 entities, which is obviously Star Wars, Marvel, and Disney. Star Wars.
Right.
I saw that Clone Wars is going to be on there, and I've been thinking about giving Clone Wars a try just to watch it as a show, so I'm probably going to give that a shot. But we all know why we're actually here, and it's for The Mandalorian. Like, oh man, it looks so good. So Cody, who did a podcast with us once back in July, he and I are talking.
While we were in Disney.
We were in Disney. We were. We talked about doing a Mandalorian watch party to where we like wait to watch it as a group. So we may do Tuesday nights, we may do Thursday nights, something like that. So that may replace our Sentinels campaign we were doing. Maybe watching Mandalorian because it will release weekly. It's not going to be a binge show, which I'm okay with personally. But yeah,
I'm okay with it, but I hate suspense. I hate having.
I'm excited. That's we're not going to watch it on Tuesday, which sucks because I'm going to have to weed through all of the spoilers and everything and people talking about it until Thursday. But that's at the top of my list of things to watch because it's an exciting new experience that we haven't gotten before.
That is on the top of my list as well. I'm very excited about it. but I won't count that as one of yours. So I'll skip ahead to one of the things that most of mine are going to be things that I want to rewatch. I want to rewatch one of the most criminally underappreciated Disney movies, Treasure Planet. I really want to rewatch that. I've had a hankering to rewatch it. I've realized recently that Lee Allison has never seen it. So that is like top of my list. Probably the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to have a little movie night.
Have you confirmed that it's on there?
And I'm going to... I haven't confirmed, but I'm pretty sure...
Just got it. It's on there.
Almost.
Yep.
Okay. But I'd say almost every Disney movie
like pretty much every Disney
here.
animation.
Like even some Disney movies that probably shouldn't be on here. But that's one I'm really excited about. I loved that as a kid. It was a great great movie. I was reading recently that there was apparently a sequel in the works in case the movie did well, and it didn't do as well as they wanted it to, so it never happened.
That's a bummer.
Really sad to me, but okay. It's a bummer.
So,
all right.
I guess it's my turn now.
Yeah,
okay, so
back to you.
Even though their selection of Marvel movies kind of sucks at launch, X-Men, the animated series from the 90s, is going to be on here.
Yes,
I am all about that. I'm totally binging that again. So I'm going to be watching X-Men the animated series, as well as, I don't know if you ever watched this, but X-Men Evolution. Did you ever watch that? Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I've seen bits and pieces.
It's going to be on there too. So going to be watching a lot of X-Men, guys. X-Men animated series from the 90s and X-Men Evolution from the early 2000s. And I can't wait.
I'll track along with your 90s TV series that you want to rewatch. Gargoyles.
Ooh, Gargoyles. Nice.
I'm really excited to rewatch Gargoyles because as a kid, I remember like seeing the Gargoyles and like I don't know that I'm sure I watched like one or two episodes, but I know I didn't see enough to like really know what was happening. But I know that I've always thought I really liked that aesthetic of that show. And it was basically they were trying to capture the magic of Batman the Animated Series. So I'm really excited to go watch that. And I know a lot of people probably like Gargoyles and wish that there were more of the Gargoyles, but I'm going to give that show a watch.
So my next one, I haven't talked a lot about this show, but oh my gosh, I adore this show. And I can't wait to binge it again. But Phineas and Ferb is going to be on there. It just says that it's there. I hope that means the whole series because there are episodes I've missed. And oh my gosh, I can't wait to watch that show again. I loved Phineas and Ferb. I can't wait. That's going to be honestly like it's like that's at the front of my list of things to binge as far as TV shows are concerned. Is Phineas and Ferb. Like it's going to move to the top of the list come Tuesday. I can't wait.
Another one that I don't know if I'm going to do, maybe this shouldn't count, but Kim Possible is another one that I want to rewatch at some point. I just don't know if I want to rewatch the whole thing or if I just want to watch like the last season again.
It's on there.
Because there was a certain point that they went to HD, and I think it was maybe the last season that they did. So I might rewatch that, but I loved Kim Possible. That was a great show. I'm trying to think of what else. I'm looking through all their lists of stuff. This is a weird one that like I don't know that it's I don't know if this should count as like a first watch, like immediate watch. But I really want to rewatch Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Are you familiar at all with that show or movie, Steven?
Name.
It's a movie about a flying car that was made by Disney. It's very old. When I was a child, I watched that movie every day, 100 times a day. Funny. Until, out of nowhere, one day, it terrified me. And I never watched it again, and I've been terrified to watch it ever since. And I want to rewatch it to try and figure out what scared the crap out of me. Because I don't remember. I don't remember anything about that movie. So I want to rewatch
Yeah.
that one.
I know that Anna is a huge Disney person. She loves all things Disney.
Mm-hmm.
She loves DComs, Disney Channel original movies. She worked at Disney for a little while. Like she's all about that. So like, we're probably gonna be watching Lizzie McGuire and the Lizzie McGuire movie and pretty much every single DCOM. We're probably gonna watch all of them. But also, I'm excited for the Christmas stuff that they've got on there. A movie that I've wanted to.
Yeah, what do you think
go
about? What do you think about the new Noelle movie with Anna? Is it Anna?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh, you don't. Okay, it's on one of the. It's one of the new things that they're making for Disney Plus. Anna Kendrick, I think is her name. From Pix.
Yeah, it's Anna
Pitch
Kendrick.
Perfect.
She's also from Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yeah, she is. She is. She plays Noelle, who is one of Santa's daughters, and her brother becomes the new Santa, but he disappears, and so she has to go bring him back. So it's basically Elf again, but with Anna Kendrick.
So is she the younger sister, or is she older than the brother?
I think she's younger.
So she's
But I
not
could
the
be wrong.
firstborn. So
I
she's
don't
not
think
the
so.
first Noelle.
Jesus Christ. I don't.
Thank you. It's been great. You've been great.
All right. What were you about to talk about? What was your
I was just
movie
saying
you were about to get
Christmas stuff. I'm just excited for Christmas stuff because if there's one thing that Anna loves as much as Disney, it's Christmas. So we're already listening to Christmas music on the radio.
I heard it on the radio. That's pretty much. Oh, I haven't seen. I still haven't seen Ralph Breaks the Internet, but I don't see that.
Yeah, actually, there are Pixar movies on there, but they are only going up to 2017. And then I thought I saw that like there's been a Pixar movie pretty much every year. But there's nothing for 2002, 2005, or 2009, or 2014. I don't know what movies came out.
Maybe they were slower. Maybe they were slower when they started.
But
I wonder if they're doing that to help DVD sales.
oh, absolutely. I'm sure that's why they're doing it, especially for Toy Story 4.
Yeah, that's dumb. Just bring it to the Plus.
But also,
you
Ralph
know?
Breaks the Internet
Drive
was not
up
a good movie,
subscriptions.
so you don't have to really watch it.
Yeah, but I still want to see it. You know what I mean, Steven? I have to see it for myself.
Yeah,
To know.
I understand that. Just
was
don't
good or
expect a
not.
good Wreck-It Ralph movie. Expect Disney wanting to make an internet movie.
I'm okay with that. All the Disney princesses are in it, so that's all
The
I
only
wanna
good
see.
part.
That's the only good thing. All right, was there any other movies you saw on there that you wanted to mention or that you're excited to watch? Not even movies, TV shows,
I mean,
too, whatever.
I might revisit some old Disney Channel stuff because I grew up on Disney Channel a little bit, but I'm sure I'm going to learn a lot more about early, I guess, 2000 to 2010 Disney Channel from Anna. So I'm excited for that, us having something to binge together because we've been kind of between things lately. So that'll be good.
Yeah, that will be good. It'll be a lot of fun. Steven, do you have much you want to do for catch up? I know you've been playing a little bit of Guild Wars, but we've talked about Guild Wars before.
Yeah,
Is
I've
there
been playing a lot of
anything
Guild.
new you want to talk about?
Wars. I would love it if I just had one extra person to play it with. That'd be great. Someone named Jake, perhaps, because it's.
Look, Steven, I'm not a miracle worker, okay? We don't have any funds. I can't hire somebody named Jake to come play a video game.
Your
with
name's
you, okay?
Jake, and it's free, so the funds aren't a problem.
Are there? We have the funds, Jake. We have the
technology.
means.
I have been playing Rainbow Six Siege. And
Oh, okay.
some people might be surprised to hear that because for a long time people have been like, play Siege, and I'm just like, no. But it was cheap, and Andrew from Friendly Fire Games, my brother, got it, and he was just like, "Hey, come play it." And I was like, "Okay, sure." It was like $6, so why not? So I've been playing that. It's fun, except for when it's not, which is most of the time, which is when you're getting absolutely trashed because everyone playing it is leagues better than you. So, like, they built a great foundation for a game, but the game is begging to be not just player versus player, but it basically is. So,
right. Is there not like a PvE?
There is,
mode in
but
that?
it doesn't count because it's literally just like it's called Terrorist Hunt, and it's
Right.
basically simulating a PvP match, but it's only doing it to teach you the maps basically because it just fills the area with like one of the modes might be kill all the terrorists, so there might be like 22 terrorists, so you just go through the map and you shoot them. It doesn't count.
Right. Gotcha.
But I like it. It's a good game. It's just not a good game
cool.
for me.
Yeah. I've been playing a little bit. I've been playing Luigi's Mansion a fair bit. Still really liking that game. It's great. It reminds me so much of. I get so much nostalgia off of it playing from playing Luigi's Mansion on the GameCube. Ugh. Really good. Highly recommend it if anybody played that. And then I've also been watching a lot of Netflix. I watched this show called Daybreakers. Steven, are you familiar with Daybreakers on Netflix?
I don't believe I am.
It is let's call it a rom-com high school TV show, but if when you were in high school, the apocalypse happened and it was the end of the world. I don't think I recommend the show. It's not bad. I just didn't like it. But I did watch the whole thing.
Okay.
The thing I didn't like about it is how they do like this fourth wall breaking thing with the main character, where he's like telling you, he's like the first episode is just like, like all episodes, it's setting everything up, but he's like, "Hi, I can't even remember his name. That's how done I am with this whole series. I think it's Josh, maybe. Anyway, he's like, "Hi, I'm Josh."
Of course,
and
your name
it's
is
the
Josh.
end of the world. Like there are these zombies called ghoulies. They do whatever, and like he just keeps saying the same things over and over and over, and he's always talking to you. And I did not like that aspect of it at all. And they do these flashbacks to like when they were in high school before the bang and all this other stuff, and I don't know. It's very weird. Like I ended up finishing it, which means to me that means they at least did something that really interests me. Basically, in the first episode, we also find out that Josh was separated from his girlfriend when whatever happened to cause the apocalypse. When that happened, they weren't together, so he's been looking for her for like a year, and hasn't found her, doesn't know if she's alive or not. And they had this like sweet relationship like in the flashbacks, so I was like, I kind of want to find out where she ends up being. It's not a satisfying conclusion, I'll just tell you. But then also, they do this weird thing with her in like the next to last episode where like you see the day before the apocalypse happened, where she and Josh almost broke up, and it's setting her character up for something that's coming, I assume, in season 2. It kind of happens at the very end of season 1, but I just didn't like the direction they took it. It was very strange, and I just felt like they kind of did a red herring to set you up for something. But anyway, I watched the whole show. I can tell you it's not great. Go see it for yourself, but I don't know how I made it through the whole thing. But I'll tell you what was good, and I wasn't expecting it to be good. I watched season 2 of The End of the Effing World. Steven, have you watched The End of the Effing World? The TV show?
No. Okay.
I recommend it. It's pretty good. I really like it. It's a little out there, but I really like it. And I was afraid with season 2 that I wasn't going to like it because I thought a key character was not going to be involved in it at all. but they ended up being. And it was a pretty good show. I don't think they'll do a season 3. I kind of hope they don't do a season 3 because I do feel like they were kind of stretching. Season 2, second seasons, I feel like most of the time, they're kind of where I feel like they're written like completely after the first one did well, and they're surprised that it did well, so they're like, crap, what can we do? Like, how can we make a second season? And it felt like that, but I still enjoyed being in that world that they've created and with those characters they've created. So I was just happy going along the ride, even though it maybe wasn't the most well thought out ride. So if they do a third season, I hope they really put in some thought to what it's going to be and how it's going to go. But anyway, I don't know. So if you watched Into the Effing World, highly recommend season 2 as well. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this episode of Chortlecast. We do hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, there's a couple things you can do to help us out. Number one, if you're on YouTube, you're already at chortlegames.com. You can like this video, share it with your friends, leave us a comment, let us know what you thought about it. What are you excited to see first on Disney Plus? We want to know. And then if you're an audio listener, you can leave us a review on iTunes. That really helps us out. It helps people find the podcast, all the good stuff. Also, you can follow us at Chortle Games on Facebook and Twitter. I don't know why my brain just broke down trying to say that. You can also join our Discord in the link. There's a link in the description of this video. Or you can also go to our channel page, click the banner, and there's a little icon that helps you join our Discord there. It's a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun in our Discord. We post memes. We post music we're listening to. We have different channels for different games that we're playing pretty frequently. So you can hang out with us there, have a good time, have a lot of fun. This is not the only thing we do here on the channel, Steven. Chortlecast airs every Monday at 12 o'clock Central Time. Like we mentioned, this week is forward compatible, so right after this, we're going to have the preview of Star Wars...
The Force Unleashed.
We're going to be doing that preview, hearing from Steven about his thoughts on the game. And then all next week, he will be live streaming it. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, expect a live stream of The Force Unleashed. And then Friday, we're going to cap it all off. Steven's going to be playing Star Wars Fallen Order coming from EA Friday. So Steven will be playing that. I am currently scheduled to be doing a wedding Saturday. I fully expect it to take up all of my time and attention on Saturday. But if by chance I get a second, we will do a live stream of Pokemon Sword. But I would not count on that. I wouldn't mark your calendar and say this is when it's happening. So we might not have a stream Saturday, but we will have a podcast again next Monday, and also the review. And if it goes like it has been the last couple of weeks, we probably won't end up having a podcast, and we'll just have a review. So we'll just see how that goes. But anyway, we'll be rolling back along, doing forward compatible. I am going to do a Pokemon Let's Play next week. So if you are like really hankering for some Pokemon on the channel, we're going to have that. And then I'm probably going to live stream that next week at some point. So everybody calm down, okay? It's going to happen. We're going to make it happen. But anyway, yep, that's it for this week. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Steven. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned
With forward compatible preview of
Don't
Star
go
Wars:
anywhere.
The Force Unleashed. Don't go. Don't go. Seriously, don't go. But actually, you're going to have to go to the channel and open the next link because it's going to be a different video. But don't go.